with organizations like Intel, General Electric Healthcare, etc. Intel chairman Professor Craig Barrett had graced one such program. He was a former director of Vidya Pratishthan's Institute of Management Information Technology. Through VIIT, Dr. Goje has been organized an annual international conferences titled Baramati Initiative in collaboration with reputed national and international agencies like the World Bank, Media Asia Lab, UNESCO, UNIFEM, UNDP, Government of India's Ministry of ICT, etc. He has also worked on a project titled Empowering the Poor, a pilot ICT program for rural areas of Pune district, funded by Japan Social Development Fund, administered by the World. Dr. Goje has been a member of several important committees like IT Task Force Government of Maharashtra, Maharashtra State Advisory Committee for IT Course of Maharashtra State Board of Technical Education, that is MSBTE, Network Connectivity Committee of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, that is BAMU, Aurangabad, Experts Committee Technical of Kumbh Mela 2003 Nasik. He has been associated with Artificial Rain Project of Government of Maharashtra. He has also been a member of Board of Studies for Computer Science in various universities. For his IT initiatives, Dr. Goje was conferred with Marathwada Gaurav Award, was also selected as a finalist for Stockholm Challenge Award, a recipient of prestigious Ashoka Fellowship, USA. Dr. Goje can be the best described as the institution builder and IT innovator with social motto. He is currently working on building a state-of-art digital planetarium at Baramati. Dr. Goje's vision is to establish Magarpata City Institute of Management and Technology as one of the most respected institutions of higher learning and research in India. Today, he will guide us on AI, a future learning assistant. Over to you, sir.
Good morning to all of you, rather good afternoon. I know that we are almost delayed by half an hour, but we can cover up time by the lunchtime. So I think those who attended the inaugural session and the session by Manish Gupta just now, you must have seen that the efforts that Government of India is taking towards inclusive growth as well as use of technology in education, at the same time taking interest in faculty development program so as to develop the faculty's knowledge, enhance their knowledge, and see to it that they can cope up with recent technologies with whatever are coming or emerging in today's world. At the same time, you must have seen that what Manish spoke about artificial intelligence, especially he touched base upon healthcare industry. At the same time, he touch based few social health projects those NGOs are working upon, because I already worked on such projects in past. I used to have telediagnostic I always say telediagnostic because telemedicine is altogether different, but the technology is interested in helping diagnostic part of, and Manish has rightly pointed out about proactive instead of reactive. Today, our medical is in the reactive mode. Whenever we are having certain symptoms of disease, then only we go to doctor or doctor treats us. But now the technologies are emerging and people started thinking of proactive mode of healthcare. It will come very soon. So the time has come that it will be very soon. You will see this proactive mode of telemedicine, telediagnosis in near future. Anyway, now we want to today discuss about artificial intelligence in education, which is now emerging in day-to-day. So now I will just share my screen. What am I going to talk today? So I think you are aware that now we are talking AI, and AI, or at the same time, the buzzwords today we have are either artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, and so on and so forth. So even our education is also not away from this technology to be incorporated in our system or to bring into our system, and that is what today my interest is to touch base upon. If possible, if time permits, we will look into one of the AI application which I am concentrating is concept of AI based chatbots. So let us see how time permits us. So as I rightly said that everyone has been vouching for artificial intelligence ability to change our lives forever in the next 10 years. Now I'm saying next 10 years, but why next 10 years? Even after very next 5 years, which system will be different, technology, whatever we are incorporating will be different, and even our teaching, learning, pedagogy, what we used to call, which we used to have, or you may say we used to call andragogy, and now the latest we are talking on utagogy, because that is where we want to work upon when we are switching over to online mode or blended mode of learning, which rightly pointed by pointed out by Dr. Sahasrabudhe in the morning. So definitely now after this pandemic, I think we will be in the blended fashion of education or teaching learning methodologies that we are going to use in near future. And as you are aware that now we are continuously using technology, and in fact in last 6 months I think we were depend on technology whatever the way possible. Even today also we are learning this in virtual mode. In fact, what was supposed to be a physical mode of this workshop, but now even AICT started thinking of switching over to online mode, as you are all aware of this. So definitely this is where the technology that we are saying. So what is required then? The amalgamation of technology with innovative learning processes. So definitely we are talking about technology. Definitely we are talking about new ways of doing the things, but at the same time, we should know that what innovations that we want to bring into learning or teaching learning processes, or the way we want to move further, or the way we want to go ahead and see to it that we should have whatever the things that we want to deliver amongst the students, amongst the faculty, should be achieved. As I think in the morning, even Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe told about one of the aspects that is mentorship. I think now the teacher role is changing. We are now, I think we are coming out of the system which we are saying that it's a mentor mentee concept that we want to bring into education also, so that we can mentor the students instead of we are saying that we are teaching the students. So things are moving in that direction also, and which are even pointed out by the leaders of our nation who are also thinking in that direction, and which is really welcome for all of us. So this is what we want to know. And as you know that what is the potential of artificial intelligence, and it's that potential that we want to bring into our education system also, so that the competitiveness of institutions and empower the teachers and learners of all abilities. So definitely in order to bring this artificial intelligence, we are interested in talking about global education. We are not talking about local. We are talking local to global, or how to bring broad this, or how to switch over from local to global. And in that scenario, definitely artificial intelligence is going to play an important role. And I have some Microsoft research which I want to brought to your notice that AI is important for the future. How it is now, what Microsoft is saying that 99.4% said that AI would be instrumental to their institution's competitiveness within next 3 years. So this is a recent Microsoft research which I came across last week, and I thought that I should share with you. So whatever the research says that for institutions competitiveness. So you are aware that we are talking about healthy competitions amongst each other. We are talking about this competitiveness across the globe, and when we are talking on that, definitely this AI is important for their future. And so the result is talking about 99.4%. So that is very important. And out of that, 50% is calling it as a game changer. So what it shows that we are all trying to work with it too. So we are all already geared up. We already started thinking on in that direction. Another research output says that 92% said that they have started to experiment with the technology. So as I rightly told you, so already people started incorporating technology. We started incorporating new things. As I told you about blended learning. So we are also part of that, and we also want to grow in that direction. And so I want to touch base upon today is that how this AI can be implemented in various aspects. Definitely, these are very few examples, but we can implement in large scale also. You all have, or you must have started working on it, or you must have some new ideas which you want to implement in near future. So that's very important. So the first important thing that or aspect of AI in education, which everybody is talking today, is personalized learning. I think whatever the education system or the methodology that we are using or the pedagogy that we are using in for last 50, 60 or 100 years rather, I can say, whether it is education 1, education 3, now we are talking on education 4 and education 5, like industry 4 revolutions. So such revolutions are happening in education also. So we are talking about hyper personalization. So what we are talking that instead of teaching in a group of 60 or 40 or 80 students in a class, and we normally do what we teach in the class of 60 students, we don't know whether all the students learn, whether they got the concepts understood. We just go ahead, we teach them the way we want, and then afterwards we examine them with whatever the technology methodology that we are having, and then we decide whether that student is pass or fail. But now we want to come out of that mindset. We want to come out of that system, and we are talking now. It's a personalized learning. I think we are also thinking that now why not to have personalized learning, because as a teacher or as a person in the education system, in fact, I always tell that we are a student throughout our life. We are learning every day. We are studying every day new concepts, new things, and then we are trying to see to it that how we can incorporate such things into our lectures or into our uh, whatever the knowledge that we want to give it to the student. And here what we are talking is a personalized learning. If suppose you know that each student has its own way of learning, each person has its own way of accepting the things, or you can say get the things learn is different. For example, we are saying that every person has its own memory acceptance. Say for example, somebody is having the memory which is visual memory, somebody is having the memory which he can understand after 2 3 readings, or somebody can understand who's whatever is taught by the teacher immediately in the class itself. So these all we are coming across throughout our teaching, and we know that sometimes we do that in our own class also, that such that we explain the concepts again and again. We sometimes say that that is a fundamental part, so we try to see to it that the student can understand it within the class itself, or sometimes we tell the students that please focus on it so that he can get that fundamental things which are very essential for his learning. And same is the concept that now we want to broaden it. We want to see to it that how artificial intelligence can help us in making personalizing learning environment. Now I'm talking about learning environment. So now when we are saying about learning environment, today whatever the traditional learning environment we have, whatever it is classroom teaching or practical teaching or whatever it is. So now we are bringing this technology component so as to have these technology based concepts or technologies which we can use in such a fashion that we can bring the students towards understanding the concepts so as to bring him to the certain level, and based on his understanding concepts we can decide whether he has understood or not. Even we are talking about even evaluation, different evaluation techniques, evaluation methods, but time being I'm saying that it is for education as such, for his personal way of learning, how he wants to learn, where he wants to learn, and all these questions gets addressed by this new technology what we are talking about. I will give you a few examples in due course of time. So what we are saying, we are incorporating this technology to design a customized learning profile of each individual students and to tailor make their training materials. So we are talking about whatever this teaching, learning pedagogies, anthrogogies, eutrogogies, whatever I just use these terminologies, which are very important in near future. So when we are saying this is whether it is offline material, online material, whatever the teaching material that we want to, so we are saying it is a tailor make. So every student has, or he, him or her getting the learning material which is they think useful for them. For example, in education, we used to have another terminology that is for especially for online learning. We used to call it as a Scrum compatible learning object, SCORM. That is shareable content object reference module. So this is a concept. Actually, I used to say it that we will be having learning material or training material which is in terms of library of paragraphs. Today whatever the libraries we are having the libraries of books, but this online technology has brought us to the concept that is nothing but library of paragraphs. So means the example which I can give it to you, as I told you that the different types of memory of a student, if suppose student can understand very well by seeing the pictures or by seeing the videos, then why not to bring such videos, pictures, whatever the topic that we are teaching to the students. Or few students can understand by reading the material, whatever for that particular topic that we are teaching. Then why not to have some text material for the student? So this is what we are talking, and in IT we are saying that it is a multimedia. So different medias, different ways that teaching material can be made available to the students. So whatever the way the student wants to learn can learn from this teaching learning material. And this is the concept which normally we use in online learning is known as SCROM, that is shareable contents object reference module. So I am telling this because as a teacher we should know that, and in near future we are switching over to this whatever learning material we are going to prepare, we should be into Scrum compatible learning objects. As why I told you this, because when I'm saying this, the objects are created for all learning material. I'm saying again, I am using this object oriented approach for creating the learning objects. And when I'm saying these are the objects, then in this multimedia content, these learning objects, whatever I'm talking about, are either audio, video, sound, or text material, whatever you are having. So we have different ways of doing this, and how AI comes into picture here. As I told you, when we are creating this Scrum compatible learning objects, then we have another important factor that is to be considered is as far as country like India is concerned, we are talking about vernacularity of our Indian culture. We are talking we talk different languages, we speak different languages, and then students may be such that they can learn very well in their own language than whatever the preferred language which we are talking is English most of the time. So why not to use these different translations from one language to another language? And a lot of work is going on. I think Manish Gupta told about two innovatives, that whatever that word and other things that converts language translation that is happening, and so on and so forth. So one of the area which I'm touch base upon today is basically, as I told you, is a chatbot. And that too, the moment I'm saying chatbot, you may be aware of what is chatbot is, or for few people this may be a new concept, but this is a emerging area which is coming on large scale in different fields of our life, especially the chatbots have emerged in commercial applications or your marketing applications on your websites or apps on different platforms, and they are largely used to, you can say, CRM applications like customer relationship management and all of that. But now the same chatbot we can bring in into our education system, whether it is administrative work, whether it is teaching work, whether we want to bring cognitive learning, whether you want to bring get the students acquaintance, the student should get what I can say, that we should be ready for teaching or whatever the fears he's or she is having. I'm coming across some examples very shortly. So now what I'm talking is about chatbot. So you know what is chatbot. Chatbot is a computer program that conducts communication through audio or text methods. Now here I'm saying audio or text methods, but now video has also started incorporating into chatbox. So this is a communication, and this is the fundamental part of, I think, teaching, learning, whatever we are having the concept of teaching and whatever learning concept by the student. So the communication plays an utmost role. And most of the time, the miscommunication or less communication or no communication creates problems. And where now the chatbot can play a very important role or vital role. And that's what I thought that I should discuss chatbots today in my today's session. So what is the main objective behind chatbot creation, or known as dialogue system? So another way we are saying, as I told you, it's a communication medium, it's a dialogue system. So it is to obtain an informative answer, sustaining a structure of communication and be incoherent from the human. So this is the objective, that it should be information. It should be informative. Whatever the doubts that I'm having, whatever the requirement I have should get answered by the chatbot. Sustain a structure of communication. So it should be a platform in such a fashion that it should be a sustainable. It should be in such a fashion that I should accept that it is useful for me, and incoherent from the human. So we do not want that it is it's a replacement of a human being and all that. But at the same time, whatever that what the parameters which are important towards coherence are equally important here. There are two variants of chatbots normally in picture. One is known as rule-based chatbot, and second is not known as AI-powered chatbot. And now what I'm concentrating today is AI-powered chatbot, which is we are using various NLP algorithms, machine learning algorithms, or ANN, CNN algorithms to communicate more naturally. So the most important thing is what the part of this communication is, that as good as it should be natural way of communication. So where we can use the chatbots in higher education. So few examples I have given. I know these are very simple examples. You must be realizing that, and in fact, if I can say that if you try that, if you can develop some chatbots, I will guide to some extent that how we can develop such chatbots using Python, because today Python is the most famous language for doing such developing such application, and which is very easy for all of us to do also. So the one of the example I have given here is to give answers to FAQs such as how to obtain form, application, or what is my enrollment status. So if we can develop such application using chatbots, today you may be having certain way of communication with the students, but if you look into that as a chatbot, I think you can shifting your system, whatever the existing system, to next level. Because most of the time what is happening, especially during admission process or before admission process, a lot of faculty members gets involved. They want to answer the questions or difficulties of students, parents, and so on and so forth. But if you can convert that into chatbots, I think that will be very useful for the entire fraternity. At the same time, you can save your time to do more research and come forward with new applications for learning environments and so on and so forth. Even, for example, financial aid or short-term courses, counseling, web pages connected to various departments, and such chatbots are emerging on large scale. Even there are certain companies in the market who are giving you the ready-made chatbot engine, which you can incorporate on your websites or your apps, whatever you are having, to communicate with the students, parents, and so on and so forth. We are Another way what I am saying here is that chatbot acts as a one-stop shopping to provide answers not only for current students but for faculty, alumni, prospects, and general people. So here, this application of chatbot, you should not just think of only your students or for faculty. You can have this for faculty communications also, whether your institute wants to communicate with the faculty, wants to give information with the faculty, you can think of application of chat box. Even to talk with your alumni, suppose as an alumni I want to know some information, I can use this chatbot for that. Then prospects and general people, even for general people also, whosoever is require the information about your organization, about your institute, or what the area of research that your institute is going, what kind of work that your institute is doing, all things you can bring into chatbot. And as I told you, that basically another important thing is as a natural language process. Because if you develop a chatbot and your chatbot is just in English, or your chatbot is just giving the information in terms of some particular language, then maybe that is not that much effective, that is not that much useful. So why not to incorporate NLP technology so that your chatbot can answer using different languages in different fashions and other things. Even I just want to bring to your notice that a lot of linguistic work is also happening parallelly in this world. So linguistic analysis, linguistic context, even semantic analysis in terms of linguistics, so that you can bring that kind of tonal quality to your voice, bring various ways to answer the question, whatever the answer the student or the person whoever is using the chatbot should get. So this is very important. And definitely once this, whatever the chatbots we are using, we can use these chatbots for analytics. And another area which is emerging is nothing but, data science with analytics part. In fact, we never thought of that this kind of applications will be really useful for our own systems, but definitely for analytics, whatever this dynamic dashboards, whatever I talked about, or intelligent analytics help educators to analyze every response of prospects received from the digital virtual assistant for education to increase student engagement and retention. So definitely our ultimate aim or goal is what? Student engagement, student retention, student output, whatever we want. And if we do certain analytics at regular intervals, analytics is not the thing that you can do once a while or once in a semester or once in a year or something like that. So if you are having analytics tools and if you are using such tools, then whatever the information you are getting through chatbots, through your chatbots analytics, you can confirm or infer with the new information or new conclusions and then act accordingly. So this is in term is helping you to take in decision making whatever the way you want. And whatever I'm talking, remember that as a teaching learning system, our roles are different. As a teacher, our roles are different. Sometimes we want to do some administrative works also. So I'm coming across that. Now, definitely the biggest advantage of chatbot and then AI assisted chat box is improve student life. So as I told you, chatbots are deploying to assist students with their academic studies and campus life in general. So this is one of the example that not only for academic studies, but for students campus life also, we can have this kind of chatbots. So for example, as I told you, they can facilitate admissions, they can be designed to help improve student life and offer aid where they needed. Even the chatbots can be used for, in the beginning, as I told you, that sometimes what we do that student gets bored or get fatigued in the beginning, or if suppose he shifted from rural parts to urban parts, he is not in a position to adjust himself or herself in the new environment. So why not to have this kind of psychosymmetric or psychology based chatbots which can answer the students and see to it that the student feel more comfortable in the environment. So for example, student needs to meet a advisor for specific reason. They might interact with a chatbot and then find the right advisor and book the right time. So means these are all examples that I just brought to your notice. So some students might need additional support. As I told you, these are the additional supports. Sometimes, some students come to the urban part and then the communication with the students from the urban area, they feel uncomfort with talking to them because of they have whatever their internal fear in their mind and also and so forth. So this is what we can bring the chatbots. So what we are saying about chatbox is that from retention to persistence. So self-efficacy, then sense of belonging and perceived value of the curriculum. So these are the areas where you can think of bringing chatbot application so that you can bring value addition in your system. Some examples I are given here that identifying students who had acknowledged they were afraid of failing classes and connecting them to tutors. So these are some examples actually in real world what is happening. Then locating students who had admitted they didn't have a close group of friends and sending them suggestions about campus opportunities for engagement. Finding students who were homesick and students who were having roommate problems and referring them to the wellness center ad or sending them tips about how to get along with roommates. So means this is all psychosymmetric psycho problems, or you may say various types of problems. Why only psycho problems? But we can address various types of problems. These are very few examples that I have brought to your notice. Or detecting students who were contemplating dropping out of schools and arranging for student services staff to follow up with them. So sometimes student feels that no, I want to drop out from this course. I'm not getting this. I'm not understanding this. So understand the problem what students are having, because sometimes they don't come to the faculty. Normally we have this kind of systems today. We are adopting some way of tackling such problems. We are having some, as I told you, some colleges are having some innovative methods that they assign one teacher for say group of 10 students, and then they think that that 10 students should talk to that teacher and solve his other problems also apart from education. But why not to bring the technology now into such areas where we can address such problems? And definitely, if you want to bring such technology, the domain knowledge is equally important. Because one side, technology you are having, the technology is readily available. Technology you can develop this kind of application with no time. As I'm saying, word no time means with less time. But unless and until you don't have the problem, you don't have the what you exactly you want to do, then it is difficult. So that's why domain knowledge is equally important. Now, what is the role of chatbots in teaching assistant? Because I just spoke about you can say academic problems what students are facing. Maybe it is campus, maybe it is financial, maybe it is his other psychosomatic problems or other problems that students face, and that are equally important. As a faculty, we need to address that problems also. Now coming back to the teaching assistant. Now, another important area where chatbots can play a role. So, it is a virtual teaching assistant that reduces the cycle of tasks aligned for the teacher on day-to-day basis. So you can assign certain works. For example, as I told you that if suppose you're teaching some subject and you have a list of FAQs of your subject. We never tried this kind of thing, but we can think of this now. Suppose you design a FAQs of your own topic or syllabus, whatever the topic subject you are teaching to the students, and convert that FAQs into chatbot. So most of the time, if student has not understood the concept while teaching inside the class, then using chatbot, he may get answers through FAQs and other things. And this is one part that even other important information is like lesson plans, course modules, assignments, their deadlines. Today, what we are doing, we are just putting on notice board, we are just informing the students, and so forth. But that you can convert into chatbot application so that they are handy with the students. Whenever he thinks that what is the lesson plan, then just by giving the asking to the bot, he is getting the answer. If suppose what are the course modules that he wants to study, or what are the assignments that am I supposed to do, so which I can convert into chatbot application, and what are their deadlines also at the same time. And now these are all applications which you can think of as a teaching assistant, because now here we are saying that chatbot is a teaching assistant to assist you while teaching the students. And apart from that, as a teacher, even we are having other works. So if we can see to it that wherever possible, we can bring in chatbots or bot applications. Now, this is another example I have just taken because everything is related with your finance. Every institutes, every organization talks about finance. So that's why I written that can AI and chatbots help universities save money? So I think the answer is definitely yes. provided if you use the tool at the right way, right time, and with right attitude. So, for example, as I gave you the example of administrations, that I think wherever you are having human resources like business operations, research, records management, which you can streamline by back office processes. So, wherever possible, you can convert these back office processes into chat box. And that what you can do, these field routine questions around the clock, improving front facing customer service while freeing staff for other tasks. As I told you that. Another example I gave it to you here is that we started using AI to improve facilities use and maintenance. Means now not only chatbots but other AI applications also, because as I spoke here is that AI and chatbots. So as far as chatbots are concerned, whatever your communication activities are there amongst teacher, among students, amongst stakeholders of the system, you may convert that into a chatbot. But at the same time, you can use artificial intelligence to improve facilities use and maintenance. For example, I just gave here example of smart HVAC and lighting system linked through the Internet of Things, yield volumes of data that can be analyzed across campuses to automate building operations, find operational efficiencies, optimize the use of space. See, this is another important area. Optimize usage of space. Today, nobody has thought of, nobody is thinking of whatever the space I am having. I am trying to do that optimization the way I want. For example, when you're making the timetables, when you're finding the space availability of classrooms and other things, and whatever the activities you are doing. But if you have the data of past, whatever you are having, and if you analyze that data and based on that data, you can think of optimization and which you're getting, and that will be a regular activity for you. Even maintain security, app, improve facilities maintenance, as I told you, for example, because this is various type of data gathering you are getting from now, because another field which is emerging is IoT, Internet of Things. We are talking of lot of sensors coming off. For example, I have given here is that AI to manage landscape sprinklers, saving both water and money, or AI to help manage campus parking. So when we are talking about efficient uh, management systems, then parking is also one of the example I have taken here, because here we are using the concept of artificial intelligence to manage the things. Then even I think somebody in the morning gave the example of driverless cars and other things. That is not a dream now. I think driverless cars will come very soon in country like India also. So why not to have driverless campus buses and so on and so forth. Means if you broadly think of applications of artificial intelligence, one is definitely for education, which I just touched based upon using the concept of chatbot. But there are another ways also that to look after into artificial intelligence in education, which I'm not covering in this today's lecture, but definitely it is there. For example, when I'm talking about mostly people are working on your evaluation mechanism, how to evaluate the students, whether the student has learned, a student has got whatever, because end of the day our system is framed in such a fashion that we want to teach the students and then evaluate the students, and based on evaluation we are giving the result whatever we want. So in all these activities now we are bringing artificial intelligence. One is how, when we are teaching the students how to bring artificial intelligence. Even there is a concept known as artificial intelligence based tutors, AI tutors, or AI based voice guidance. So number of things are emerging based on artificial intelligence. You will be having voice guidance. You will be having tutors which can teach the students as and when the student want. So these are various ways that we can bring in artificial intelligence. But at the same time, as I brought few examples here, as a campus, as a system, that we need to look after even smart electricity management when we are talking, because everywhere this artificial intelligence comes into picture today when we are saying that. Because, and if you see that these are the necessities, and that's why I have written this, that how we can save money. Why I connected this topic with finance, because end of the day, unless and until there is a impact on finance, most of the time things are not getting implemented or not brought into the picture. And that's what I thought, that I should link this with finance, and that is what my intention. And definitely this is not only that, but end of the day, if we are doing this with efficiency and bringing the cost of operations down, then definitely we are talking about the education which is affordable. So because that is another area which we are facing, we want to address, and this is where I think artificial intelligence is going to help us in avoiding repetitive tasks, bringing tech intelligence into the system, as these are all machine intelligence which will not fail compared to human intelligence. Because when we are doing these kind of things today, we are doing with using human intelligence, but when we are switching over to artificial intelligence, they will do as a machine, they will do it with efficiency and promptness. The promptness is equally important here. As a human being, we normally get ignored in such things. So what we can expect from AI? Fundamentally, the promise of AI lies in its ability to bring the power of technology to bear in deepening human thinking and reasoning, and accelerating the pace of discovery. The pace of discovery, sorry. So this is what we are expecting, that AI should have the ability to bring the power of technology in human thinking and reasoning, and accelerating the pace of discovery. So this is another thing that is going to happen, that some experts say that AI will enrich the information age. Definitely, it is going to enrich the information age in the same way that the industrial revolution improved manufacturing. So during industrial revolution, we improved the manufacturing processes. We brought technologies and see to it that the manufacturing should happen with efficiency and what are the targets that you want to achieve. And now we are talking same thing as far as AI is concerned with information age, because today we are saying that we are into information age, and definitely it will enrich this information age. And in the near term, analyzing data through AI will continue to add value to the both the quest for student success and the development of more sophisticated business intelligence and better operational practices. I think no doubt everybody will align with this statement, that we are whatever the value addition that we are doing into quest for student success, whatever the student want, the way they want, how much they want, we can definitely think in that direction. And definitely we are developing sophisticated business intelligence. This will lead to the BI, business intelligence and operational practices. So better and better operational practices that we are bringing into the system. Eventually, AI may do more artificial assistance and could help in designing textbooks, deliver course content. So, what are the other applications of area that as a teacher we should think of? Help in designing textbooks. So, imagine that whatever the textbooks that you are as an author we are writing today these AI powered machines are going to design the text. deliver the course content. Definitely, we are talking on this online, blended, and other things. Then develop test questions. Your all systems are getting automated using AI. So develop test questions, evaluate the answers. What are the answers given by the students and all you can evaluate by the AI techniques. Monitor online discussions and tutor students. So this is what we are talking about. Actually, here I have not mentioned about other activities areas like we are emerging on in that area also. That is nothing but your virtual reality, augmented reality, or now we are talking on mixed reality. So this virtual reality, augmented reality, these are the concepts that we are bringing into the system. You must have seen some example of this virtual reality or augmented reality that is used in teaching. Already experiments are going on in India, especially into primary schools, secondary schools. Say, for example, most of the time, this is the example taken by the people that while talking about AR or VR is nothing but, say, for example, you are explaining the heart to the student. You are bringing that heart using MR technology in front of the students. You are explaining the things to the students. You are using the technology. The same concept we are using, and definitely for AR, VR, AI is backend for all these activities. It is likely that AI will drive new courses and even majors as university design programs to prepare workers for AI related work. So definitely now, what are the new courses we are talking about and all that. So AI will drive these new courses and even majors as universities design programs. So what major, minors, what we are talking, all that. So all this will be driven by artificial intelligence. And this is how this is moving towards artificial intelligence in education. So as far as my today's presentation is concerned, I think I will stop here. I will just come across, I will touch base upon some way of designing the chatbot. But before that, I will prefer that I will take few questions and then I will switch over to design part of chatbots. If any questions are there, they are welcome. Thank you.
Participants, you can ask questions to him directly or type your question in a chat box.
Very good afternoon, sir. This is Dr. Biswas. So
Good afternoon.
I have a question, not question, rather it is a query because in the present day, so we are, as you can see, that the whole world is moving towards a different dimension. That is, war tone, zone, and other kind of tensions are
Yes,
going on. So in that, this artificial intelligence is playing a very major role in terms
correct.
of, now we talks about the cyber security and then all kind of space
Yes,
technology and all these things.
yes, yes.
So when we are talking about such type of things, and then how far it is safe for the world. So going totally artificial intelligence, using artificial intelligence, and moving towards that. So how far it will be safe for our whole world peace and security. So in that dimension, and as well as you see today, the cyber security became a major issue in terms of in the banking sector or in the communication sector or in the transportation sections. So and obviously this it is bringing a lot of what you can say that changes in our education sector. But what about the security aspect of our life? And that another right to privacy, how we are going to protect this right to privacy, that's also another factor. So I want some comments
You're
on
right.
this.
You're right. Basically, I think in the morning also someone spoke about such situations that are going to emerge. But for every thing that we are talking about had two sides of the coin. So as far as technology is also concerned, there are two sides of the coin. You rightly said that the security is a major aspect. A lot of work is happening into security areas also. And as these technologies are emerging, I think even in security also this technology will start emerging, and you will see to it that in due course of time, AI will play a role in security also. So the security will be artificial intelligence based. So already things are happening. If you ask me, in network security and all that, the algorithms are getting designed in such a fashion that you are using the artificial intelligence or deep neural networks to design the network security. So this artificial intelligence is going to play a role into that area also. But as you rightly said, that end of the day, these are all technologies created by human beings. So how you want to use it, how you want to accept it, it depends on us. So and same time, as you rightly pointed out, if you will not use it properly, or if it is going into the wrong hand, then there is a disaster. So it is our duty to look into that. It is our, because one more thing I always tell in my speech, that whenever, why we are developing all this, why this thrust of bringing technology, why this thrust of bringing new things into our life. Basically, the ultimate goal or aim of our bringing this technology or new things in our life is nothing but how to live life better, nothing else. So definitely, if you will use it properly, then only we will live life better. Otherwise, if it goes into the wrong hands, then there will be a disaster. Anybody else?
Any participant who wish to ask a question?
Sir, if you allow me, then I would like to know one more thing about the school education system and artificial
Please,
intelligence in
please,
schools.
please, please,
School education.
please.
So actually today you see that gadgets are becoming more challenging for our small kids.
Mm.
Basically in the school, and that is okay, definitely when the school children are using it, if there is no proper monitoring process, then they're using it in a different way. So in that, okay, what would be the policy, what would be the module of using such type of artificial intelligence by the small kids in school? Well, that is bringing so much of challenges, and there are so many things we are in the news that students they are using such type of seeing so many such type of videos and other things. So how to stop such type of things?
That
So
is
that
what.
will
No,
be
you're right. See, whenever such problems arises or such problems comes into picture, then we start taking the solutions. So definitely now people like you and me need to develop certain solution, again using technology or artificial intelligence. Say for example, if you want to use these kind of gadgets or technology in education, especially into small kids and all that, then we need to develop certain softwares or maybe that AI based operating system, so that that operating system, whatever the gadgets we are giving in the hands of small children or students, then we will restrict in such a fashion that that will only deliver whatever we want. So things will come out. Once there is a problem, then we should find out solutions for that also. So as we are doing all these things, if you are asking me, sometimes we on our own, we restrict some videos, we restrict now, for example, especially into networking, when we are saying that there is a concept of firewall and other things. So similar way, we will be having AI powered technology in such a fashion that we will decide that how that information will be made available at the right person, at right time, at right location. So this is a research area for all of us.
Yes, sir. Then what about, sir, social networking sites, sir, then?
Social networking is another area. Again, in social networking also, if you ask me, a lot of research is happening. Again, we don't know whether this social networking we are talking, there is a life cycle concept in our system. So we are today saying that these are all social networks. They are using we are using uh, throughout the since morning till evening or in 24 hours, 365 days. But there is a possibility that maybe that another new thing will emerge and this social networking may have their end. So we don't know, because everything has its life, everything has its way of bringing into the system, and even at the end, at the same time, as a human being, we are always passionate in such a fashion that we will decide whether to continue with that system or not.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, there is a question by Mr. Dilip Kumar. The
Hmm.
question is, how can we use a development of library field using AI?
Development of
Library field,
libraries field.
library,
Huh?
books and library.
Huh?
So how can we use of development of library using AI?
See, that's again exactly what you want. What do you mean by development of library? You want to develop a library means exactly what you want to do.
So he is asking what kind of technologies that we can implement in AI. Are there current any solutions, any things for library development?
Okay,
Books library.
okay. You means library of such solutions.
Yes,
See,
sir. Yes, sir.
actually, there are a lot of solutions available in the open field. Because, at the moment we are talking about software or these technologies are concerned, there are two platforms. One we are talking is an open source platform and another is a paid platform. So there are a lot of things available in open source platform also, and at the same time in paid platform also. As you must have seen that now the people like these giants like Google, Microsoft, or Oracle, everybody is switching over towards artificial intelligence. So everybody has, for example, this TensorFlow. What we are talking on TensorFlow in Google, a lot of research that as a open source platform we want to do, we can use TensorFlow. So such platforms are available. You can just search and find out which is appropriate for you, or if you want to create a library of such platforms, then create the linkage of links of such platforms and create your own library wherever you want to use it.
Thank you, sir. Is there anybody has any other question?
I request every participant to please switch on your videos for a moment for taking a photograph.
If you want, or if time permits, if I can just touch base upon for 5-10 minutes, because I just got an article in one of the magazine today morning that how to develop a chatbot, which I can share with you all if you all interested, because I know since 9:30 you all are engaged and it's a lunch time now.
Sir, I think, sir, you can arrange one more lecture on chatbot, designing a chatbot,
You decide.
We
right?
will arrange a
Because
separate
that's
session
a
on
that's a
health.
really great topic,
No,
and we
if
will
you,
require
no,
that.
that's what I thought. I thought I should touch base upon chatbot today, because, when I've gone through such articles and I found that really chatbot can help us. And if I just give some example, if you permit in 5 days time, that will be better, because I can then really we can develop chatbot using Python. All can have Python on their laptops, and we will try and do that.
We'll definitely try, sir.
No problem. If possible, we can do that.
Every participant, I request please switch on your videos for taking a photograph. Everyone, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mukul sir, you can stop the live streaming now.